knock off Ole Miss. Coach Kelly, welcome back to the show. You didn't lead until well, you weren't even in. Really, you didn't lead or were tied until the end of the game. You won in overtime. I know you've had many games that took your breath away and raised your blood pressure, but this one has to be on your all-time list.
Yeah, I mean, look, the game is such that you need to keep fighting right to the very end, right? I think this is one of those games where you had two really good football teams, and you could see the plays that were being made. You just had a sense that you just needed to keep playing. And here's the throw by Nussmeier that just a trust throw, and then we had a shot here at the end. And as you mentioned, Paul, this is the only time we led. We led for 1 second, and that's all we needed was 1 second to win the game. So, it just goes to you got to close, you got to finish, and in this instance, we held a really really good offense and Ole Miss to no touchdowns in the second half and in overtime, which gave us a chance. And we scored a couple touchdowns, and that was the difference. So when you have two really good teams, there's got to be a decider, and that was kicking field goals versus scoring touchdowns.
And let's stay on the defensive side because we've had too many conversations, and you've had more than that, about shoring up this defense even after losing Harold Perkins. Explain what you saw out there versus the game plan going in on the defensive side. It looked like it worked mostly well in the second half at least.
Yes. So, first and foremost, the basic tenets of defense have not changed. And that is, you've got to tackle in space. You've got to be able to control running lanes, and you got to get after the quarterback. We sacked the quarterback 6 times. The quarterback had not been sacked that much. So disrupting the quarterback, tackling in space, the basic tenets of good college defense or defense anywhere. We weren't doing that. And, we brought in Blake, we brought in a new defensive staff, and we felt like we were going to develop the players, but bring in new leadership. That's the direction that I chose to go. And it's starting to pay off. These guys are going to be here. We're playing 6 and 7 young freshmen on defense, but we've got the right leadership, and they're going to continue to get better.
And let's talk about the game flow. And you're prepared. You try to start the game as quickly as possible. Ole Miss plays very well. As this game was unfolding, take us through your mindset because you never seemed to waver in terms of what you were trying to accomplish.
Well, really, the most important thing for us here was that we needed to protect the quarterback, and we knew that we were going to get some opportunities, but it was going to be about protection. They did not have a sack, and this is a really good defense, and they put together a great defensive team. But we needed to keep him upright, and we needed to give him time because they were playing a lot of 2-man. It requires time to get some receivers open. We were patient in that approach, and it paid off for us. It was late. We had to convert late on some 3rd and 4th down situations, but our quarterback is confident. He trusts what he's seeing and what he does. And again, it started with protection and his ability to have time to make some really difficult throws.
And let's stay with Nussmeier for a second because, I mean, there were tough moments. Every quarterback against a really good defense is going to have those, but when it really mattered, he made the moment alive.
Yeah, I mean, this is the fun part, Paul, to watch a kid that, in many instances, you could say he struggled, right? I mean, he threw a couple of interceptions and, maybe didn't stay within the width of the pocket sometimes, but he comes back on the sideline and all he wants is another chance. Give me the ball. Get it back to me. I will lead us. And just a guy that has incredible confidence in his ability and trust what he's told. And it's fun. I mean, it's fun to watch a guy that is struggling, but he knows he can come out of it. And watching him close out this game was, certainly some of those things that as coaches, you love to see guys persevere, and it was fun to watch him persevere.
Coach, you've been in a number of these games. The first game against SC, but the game I'm really thinking about is against South Carolina. Even though it was on the road, I mean, it looked like it was over. Not that this game did, but when you go through those experiences, how do you see it paying off, especially in the cauldron of Tiger Stadium as this game was getting close to the end?
You feel it on the sidelines, Paul, with how the guys talk to each other. Garrett throws an interception after we get the ball on a fumble, and you don't hear guys going, "Oh, that darn offense, man, they're turning it over. What's the deal?" You just hear a bunch of defense guys get together and go, "We're going to get the ball back. It's our time. Let's go." And when you have that kind of belief, and you have guys that believe that they're going to find a way to win, it gives you a chance. Now that, like I said, I don't know that you can live this way all the time, but these guys just have. Some teams are different, right? I mean, I haven't had teams that are all the same. They all have a different way of doing things. This team just believes they're going to find a way to win, and in this instance, they believe because they stay positive and they stay in the moment, and they stayed in the moment here, and they found a way to win it at the end.
You're about to go on the road, which is never easy, but I want to make sure we don't miss out on another part of this win. And just watching it, you're coaching it, but it felt like the fans at Tiger Stadium deserve at least some credit because, I mean, they were unreal.
This was the quintessential Tiger Stadium that people talk about and want to experience. I mean, earlier in the year, we played a day game and it was about 120 degrees. It's a tough environment, obviously, to get the kind of vibe and feel. This is an SEC matchup against a traditional rival. The atmosphere was electric, and the fans made it, but the teams did too. But both teams were playing so hard that you could feel the energy in the stadium. But this is what makes Tiger Stadium such a unique place to play a football game, and they really were part of what happened, and really kept us in the game at every step of the quarters, the minutes, whatever however you put it together. They kept us in this game the whole time.
And the great part about playing in the SEC, that you're back in all these things that you wanted to be, but that's the good news. The other part of it is you're about to go on the road, and
Yeah.
that is also the reality of it.
No doubt. And that's what I told our team after the game. I said, listen, great victory, great perseverance, but you got Arkansas, at Arkansas. And I have a great deal of respect for Sam Pittman and what he's done. And this football team is playing well. They got a great victory against Tennessee. Their offense and Coach Petrino, what they do is really, really hard to defend. They're playing great defense. So, yeah, you go on the road, and the last 4 games we played, I think, have been decided by 3 points or less. So we know the challenges that is in front of us. We're going to have to play really well on the road against a really good Arkansas team.
No close games. It's kind of the norm this year. Coach, many thanks. Congratulations again. We appreciate you coming on.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks for having me on.